Welcome back to Man vs. Meeple, the show where we talk about all things board game related. Today we have a preview for a game called Kraken Ataken. This one comes from Titan Forge Games, and you're not fighting the Krakens.
You are the Krakens.
You are the Krakens.
Yeah, so each player is going to represent a Kraken. They have two cards, which represent the color of the Kraken that they're playing, and what they're doing is they're battling the other players, which are also Krakens. But once that battle is done, they also have to fight a pirate ship and try to loot the treasure from the pirate ship.
Yeah, we're all after the pirate ships.
Yeah, and each of these pirate ships hold treasure. There's 4 different types of treasure, so there's a little bit of a set collection because the more of a particular type of treasure that you have at the end, the more points those treasures are worth.
Yeah, it's a simple game to play, too.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you're just going out there with these Krakens, loading them up with basically different tentacle cards.
Right.
And then once everyone resolves, you're basically going to fight the Krakens, then you're going to fight the pirate ships.
So let me talk about all the different components. As I said, you start with 2 of the Kraken cards. Each player is going to be dealt 4 random tentacles. There's a giant tentacle deck. Inside of this deck are a variety of different cards. They all have a numeric value to them. The higher the card, the more points it is worth in a battle. They also have a variety of different colors to them. You have to use those colors against different types of pirates because some of the pirates are immune to very particular types of colors. You also have pirates. The pirates come in colors as well, and they come with their own numeric value. That's the value you have to defeat if you're trying to defeat that particular ship. You have a Kraken. He is the miniature and the first player. He also acts as the tiebreaker in the game. Anytime there's a tie, he gets to decide who wins, but you can have revenge on him on a later turn.
Yeah, that player has a fair amount of power comes with this little first player marker.
And then you have a die. It's just numbered 1 through 6. This will be used on very particular types of tentacle cards when they come into play. All right, so to start the game, each player is dealt 4 of these tentacle cards, starting with the Kraken. He has one of 4 basic options.
Right.
One of the options is to simply pass. When you pass, you're out for the rest of the round.
Yeah, probably not the best first move.
No. The second option is to take one of your Kraken cards and pick any tentacle that you so wish, and then place that tentacle underneath, only showing the color on the top, and attack any one of the 5 or the number of pirates. Now, the number of pirates in the game and the number of ships is dependent upon the number of players plus 1. Right. So we have 5 pirates and 5 pirate ships plus 1. So I just decide where I want to take this particular Kraken. Obviously, it is yellow, so I don't want to take it against a yellow pirate, and I just place there. That's one of the second of 4 different options. Third option.
The next option is to actually just add on to a Kraken that you've already played.
Yep.
So in that case, you're going to basically pick that Kraken back up, being careful not to show everyone the card underneath.
Yep.
Add a card to it, and place it back down. So you're basically strengthening your Kraken there. For instance, if I was here at this pirate with Jeremy, we'd probably have a nice back and forth where we keep adding tentacles.
And the last possible option that you can take is you can look at any of your cards. If they have an effect, you can use that Kraken instead of placing it underneath one of your Krakens or adding it to one of them. You can use the effect on that card, and there's a variety of different effects. We'll talk about those in a moment. You're going to keep doing this around the table until all players have played all their cards or they've all passed. And remember, you can place them anywhere you so wish on any one of these pirates. And then the battles take place. When the battles take place, you first have to fight the other Krakens at the table. So depending on who the Kraken is, he decides which battle takes place first, and he simply points to that particular area, and then everyone reveals all the tentacles they have at that location.
Right, basically you're going to add up the powers or the strengths of those tentacles. Whichever Kraken has the highest value is going to win that portion.
Yep.
Now, hopefully, they still have what they need to defeat the pirate ship as well. In most cases, you will. You won't have gone there unless you knew that in advance. But then they have to fight the pirate ship. When they do, if they defeat it, they simply take the top treasure off the card
and add it to the tableau.
Discard the pirate.
Yep. If they do not, the pirate will stay out there for the next round. Now, players can play cards from their hands during this time as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to play all the cards during the round. There are several different types of cards that allow you to initiate them during the battle sequence. So let's talk a little bit about the cards and what they do first. So I have 4 cards in my hand. There's actually 5 I'm going to talk about. Most cards just have a number, and that's just their value. They have no special ability. This one's a 6, so it's a very valuable card in the game because it gives you a high strength. There's cards that you can use their power to switch treasures. So if you see someone getting a treasure, you can kind of play off somewhere else and then switch the treasure to something you wish to collect instead.
Now these, and it's important to note that these cards that Jeremy is going through are used while people are placing their Krakens, while you're strengthening your Krakens, because if Jeremy sees me going heavy on this purple one with a lot of yellow cards as tentacles, he might use a card that switches things around.
Another one you can do is to switch pirates.
Yeah.
This is a great way to see if someone's loading heavy on a particular pirate, but you see that that pirate is not immune to them. You can switch it with a pirate that is immune to those tentacles and basically screw that player over if you so wish. The last two I have, one of them is to simply get rid of the card, draw 3 tentacles from the top of the deck, and put it underneath any one of your Krakens. And the last one is to take one of your cards from underneath of a currently placed Kraken and replace it with a card. So, from the top of the deck.
Right. Now, I have a couple cards here that are used at a different time. They're basically used during the fighting.
Yep.
So if you hold these in your hand, I have one here that simply gives me a +2.
Yep.
Now, it's important to note, too, here, you might see this. This doesn't have a value on it. It has a die. So if I'd used this under Kraken as a tentacle, that's when this die comes into play. You're going to roll the die up. It's going to basically
tell you the value.
Tell you the value of this card.
Yep.
The next card is this one. This one allows me to eliminate 2 tentacles. Now, tentacles in this game are the cards on a Kraken. So I'm able to eliminate 2 tentacles on a Kraken that has 4. So if Jeremy's loaded up really heavy on one location with all 4 of his tentacles, I go there, play this card, and he has to randomly get rid of 2 of those tentacles.
Yep. There's also one of the cards that has a question mark on it. That's a there you go. That's a randomizer. In the rulebook, you will have to roll for that particular card, and it gives you some random ability that you can utilize. The last thing I want to talk about is the pirates. As we said, they all have their numeric value, but there is one pirate here that has a sword on it. Whoever has to fight this pirate has to randomly lose one of their tentacles because he's going to cut it off, and then this pirate will be replaced from another one randomly from the deck. So it's kind of a potluck. If you really want that treasure and it's really going to help you, you're going to have to know going into it that could be your downfall right there from cutting it off. So again, you're going to play until only 1, 0, or 1 pirate is left. When that happens, everyone's going to simply look at their treasure and they're going to score. Now, as I said, there's 4 different types of treasures. One of the types simply have a numeric value on them. That's just gold coins. The other ones are kind of a set collection. The more you have of one particular kind, the more points you score for that particular kind. And that's the game.
Yeah, it's really a straightforward little game. I think you're going to be in and out really quickly. It's also the kind of game I think the more people at the table, the better for sure.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about the game, make them in the comments below. Subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Make sure you guys check out the Kickstarter page, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
This Kickstarter preview has been brought to you by Man vs. Meeple in sponsorship with Quartermaster Logistics. Take a look at all of their fulfillment solutions at qmlogistics.com.